What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. This is episode 129 of the SNA podcast. And yes, sir, and ma'am, this is the SmackDown review, and we're going to be talking about, and before I begin, I want to point out that I couldn't help but notice that at the end of the show, it kind of brought some deja vu vibes, on the opener from the Go Home show from last year's SmackDown, right before Survivor Series War Games. But anyways, we're gonna get to that in just a moment. Watch it to the very end because it just gets more and more interesting. And we're gonna start off with we're gonna start off today with and this is where we got the commentary, introduced, and then this is where we have what's his name, Road Dogg Jesse James, because Kevin Owens was still suspended, at least for another week, and it seems like it won't be. Yeah, yes, sir, that's right. It looks like Kevin Owens's suspension was probably only for 14 days and not 30. Thank God, but thank God for that. But yeah. Because we're going to talk about that in just a moment, because he's going to make his big return. I'm not sure if I should call it big, but he's going to make his long 2-week return in next week's SmackDown at November 24th, 2023, like the day after Thanksgiving. But anyway, this is where we got Damage Control in the ring with Bayley on the microphone. Back to the review. This is what Bayley had to say right here. It was we're Damage Control's here on SmackDown in Indianapolis. We're just here having some fun and give a good time, are we? And this is where the fans start booing her because they do not want to hear her talk. I mean, not as much as Dominic Mysterio, but still, she is a little bit of annoying, of course, to say the least. But this is where Bayley was like, "Welcome." That's where, she welcomed him to SmackDown. This is where fans start booing because no one does not like Damage Control unless you're in their group. And this is where Bayley's like, "Whatever, who cares?" Because I plan to bring Asuka into Damage Control. One of the top dominant women in WWE. Am I right? And then all the members of Damage Control, except for Asuka, said, yeah, absolutely. And while Asuka was smiling because she loved the complimentary from the former SmackDown Women's Champion. And then this is where the fans are like, no, not Damage Control. And then he's like, you got to admit, she's the perfect fit to Damage Control. He's like, you gotta admit, this was brilliant. A new improved Damage Control is obviously, with no doubt in my mind, this is the strongest faction in all of WWE right now. Look at us. Look at us. And then this is where Baby's like, we're all playing chess. While the rest of the idiots are playing Candyland because that's only on their grade level. And then she started chuckling out laughter. He was like, yeah, you got me. And the fans would start booing continuously. And he was like, I know I got some more and better ones. You, Charlotte, Bianca and Shotzi were not ready for Asuka. Trying to get more into the skin of fans and trying to do it into this no one's ready for Asuka joke, which I'm not sure not even Asuka got. She was like, I guess you're right. When she was like, I guess you're a good one. And Asuka said something in Japanese, which Bayley did not understand, along with any of us and those who don't really speak Japanese, well, at least not yet. But anyways, but Io Sky and Asuka and Kairi Sane was having a little trio Japanese speaking conversation, and they started chuckling away. This is where And then this is where Bay was like, yeah, trying to join them, saying like, that's what I was saying too. And then it seems like they could have a plan, and they know she couldn't speak English because this is the golden role model that does not know how to speak Japanese whatsoever. But anyways, this is where, but yeah, but yeah, but it looks like what they were saying is probably what is an insult, which is probably going to be a little controversial and be very out of ordinary for me to say this. But it seems like that's the path where WWE is going with this idea for this feud. But I mean, for this feud, or for not the feud. I mean, not just the feud, but also the kid for Bayley to be kicked out of the Damage Control faction, with Io Sky being the leader replacement. And then this is where they start staring at her when Bayley was saying that. And this is where Bayley was like, yo, what are you talking about? And Dakota Kai translated and clarified that it was nothing, which it was probably was something. You know, and Dakota Kai even, but he's like, but they're saying like this isn't a new improved damage control. Because like someone in this ring is not a part of the new improved damage control. And then this is where everybody was like, "Oh," and then everybody probably was thinking that they knew it the whole time, like that they have some plans that Bayley's no longer being into this faction. It, but this is where Dakota Kai tried to make sure make sure that Bayley is not going to be kicked out, which that's probably the plans, but not tonight. But anyway, she was like, "No, like Asuka's not a problem with damage control. Like you didn't even let her in." And it's like you didn't properly let her in. That's what Dakota Kai was telling Bayley. She was like, she's waiting for you to let her in into the group. Like she's not properly in the faction yet. So you gotta clarify. You gotta confirm that she is. Like and then this is where a kid said some insulting to Bayley. This is where she shushed him, like, shush. And this is a very important business we're taking care of here. Like, so shut up and sit down. Like, this is a very important moment. I'm I'm not sure if this was scripted, but I'm not sure if it really mostly isn't scripted. But this is where Bayley offered her a T-shirt to join the Damage Control faction, which Asuka grabs on and snatches it out of. She was like, "Yeah, like yeah, like now I'm Damage Control," and this is where. And then this is where Bay was like, "Let's celebrate." And this is where Dakota Kai's like, "Oh, not yet. Like, we got a surprise. Like, we love it." Like that, the Self, Io, Asuka, and Kyrie challenged Charlotte, Shotzi, and Bianca to find a fourth member and to meet at War Games. And that's when all the members of Damage Control, like with especially Asuka and Kyrie Sane, start saying War Games too. Like, whoa, yeah! Which will be a 4-on-4 women's War Games match. And then Bayley was like, "Yeah, that's when you read my mind." Because I was thinking the same thing. War Games, yeah, woohoo! Like, and it was like, and it's gonna be all four of us in a giant cage, like, and we're gonna beat down Bianca Belair, Shotzi, and Charlotte, and whoever their their fourth member is. And then before they have a chance to finish, this is where Shotzi and Charlotte Flair tried to fight off Damage Control, but they were still outnumbered. Because they were still the numbers advantages were not really in Team Bianca's favor, and the advantage math was not doing good. And they got thrown out by Damage Control eventually. Even though they brought in some punches, clotheslines, and started hitting Luthez press onto the members like Bayley, Io, Kyrie, and Asuka, but it was still getting enough for them. So they went back and regrouped as soon as they got thrown out of the ring. But who do you think is going to be their mystery partner of their choosing? Y'all let me know down in the comments. But we got some recaps with Solo squashing poor John Cena, and then we got the returning Solo Sikoa like a little bit right before LA Knight faces Jimmy Uso, I mean. But next, we got the Street Profits taking on the Brawling Brutes and Pretty Deadly in a three-way tag team match to see who's going to declare to be the number one contender for the Judgment Day's undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship on next week's SmackDown on the Go Home Show of Survivor Series War Games and the post-show SmackDown after Thanksgiving. And I want to say happy Thanksgiving to you all, like all my SNA fans and viewers out there that celebrates the holiday. But anyway, we're gonna move on Like I was saying, we're gonna start recapping about this triple threat tag team match. This is where before we had the match starting. This is where we saw the regrouped Bianca Belair, Shotzi, and Charlotte Flair to see what are they going to do next, and who's going to be their fourth partner. Which she was like, girl, like what was that all about? Like, girl, what was all that, Shotzi? Like, I appreciate the guts and the passion. We need to be strategic. Like this was such I'm sorry. I am just a little anxious right now. And he's like, and Bianca, I cannot control myself. I will not pay back. I want to kick all damage control's butts. And then this is where Charlotte was like we used to save it for this week from the Saturday. We just need to find our fourth member and we can get everything confirmed for the women's War Games match. And this is where Bianca was like, yeah, that fourth member. And I was like, and I think you might know a couple of women that could possibly help us out at this situation. Charlotte Flair's like, I'll think about it. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm really and this is when Nick Aldis was who came in and he was like, I need to know immediately, as soon as later on tonight, before the show's over, well, who's y'all's tag team partner? Who's y'all's fourth, not tag team partner, I should say, fourth member of War Games, because it's not really a tag team match. It's just a team versus team match, a tornado style, tornado extreme steel cage style, double cage, I should say. But he's like, I know right now it's by the end of tonight, and then he walked back into his office. This is where Bianca's like, I'm gonna look at I'm gonna look for any woman in the locker room, which Bianca found at least two women that could possibly join Team Bianca. But we're gonna talk about that in just a moment. But this is where we go to the match with the Street Profits taking on Pretty Deadly and Brawling Brutes with Butch starting off with Butch, Elton Prince, and Angelo Dawkins, with Butch twisting, targeting on Elton Prince, twisting that arm, which I think that's the same arm that he was having injury issues, with having injuries issues with, when he was out for a couple of months, after sustaining an injury against Ridge Holland. But Angelo Dawkins managed to hit a shoulder tackle. This is where Angelo Dawkins did the same with Elton Prince. This is where he picks Butch back up, put him in his corner, in the lower right corner. This is where he Irish whips Butch right to the left side onto the onto the left side. He hits a drop kick after he Irish whips. This is where they did a double flapjack onto Elton Prince. After that, they double team Butch. This is when they showed more of their dominance. I was like, these guys might be the favorites to win, guaranteed. Even if there was no spoilers, which there wasn't, it was just a mid card, an average mid card tag team number one contenders match, which which was starring with these 3 tag teams in SmackDown. This is where Montez Ford hits a striking and stinging knife edge chop right onto Butch into the lower right corner, which was him and Angelo Dawkins' corner. He started repeatedly stomping on him. This is where he tags in Angelo Dawkins, which he started continuously do the stomp. This is where he picks up. This is where Angelo Dawkins put Elton Prince to the lower left corner. This is where he started hitting some boxing strikes right to the face. There was nothing that Jessica Carr can do because it was a triple threat tag team match, which is likely to be no DQ. But anyway, this is where Montez Ford gets tagged in. This is where he started stomping once again onto Butch, like doing this heel chop. But it wasn't enough for the Butch to hit a knife edge chop, which I believe Gunther would give him a pass because it wasn't really that deadly or even let alone being loud. But this is where he hits a right hand to the Montez Ford, elbow strikes, do a back elbow strike right onto Angelo Dawkins, but Montez Ford hits a super kick right into the midsection. This is where Montez Ford hits a striking shin kick right onto the head, like when he had his head bow. And this is where he hits a discus clothesline, which that's something I've rarely seen from the former Raw and SmackDown and NXT Tag Team Champion. This is where he puts Elton Prince to a back to belly position. This is where Montez tried to go for a back suplex to Elton, but he tags in his tag partner Kit Wilson in FTR fashion. This is where he elbows him. This is where he elbows him right to the head. This is where This is where Kit Wilson gets back into the ring. This is where he hits a spear while Elton Prince leaped right over him and hits a European uppercut right onto Butch. This is where Ridge Holland got tagged in. He started hitting exploder suplexes right onto Kit Wilson. Then he hit him do a back suplex face buster right onto hanging him onto the mid rope. Hanging onto the lower left corner of the Tina the turnbuckle. And this is where he hits a crossbody with him face first onto the top turnbuckle pad. This is where Ridge Holland tried to go for a single underhook spinner-rooney slam. I should say spinner-rooney, but this is where Montez Ford tried to go for a running like an elbow strike. This is where he gets body dropped by the rugby star. This is where he hits a DDT right onto Kit Wilson. This is where he clotheslines Kit Wilson out of there. This is where he grabs onto Kit Wilson. This is where Elton Prince tried to help his tag partner out, but he gets caught by Butch. He turns him around. They're about to do their team leaders 10 beats to the brawling move, which they usually do too. But that's what they're exactly doing. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but. Well, I would say not until 10, but this is where Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins came in, attacked him from behind, hit him. This is where they start. It's where they're like, hey, we want that smoke still. And then this is where they finally, the Braun Brutes got intervened in the match. They start hitting them with the 10 beats to the brawling. This is where Kit Wilson snuck from Rich Holland from behind and takes out his left leg and making him fall and spin right out of the ringside area. This is where both Elton Prince and Kit Wilson Irish whipped the former rugby player right onto Simba the Steel Steps in the top right corner of the ringside area, or the upper right side of the ringside area. And this is where there's this is our WWE tag team moment. This is where they were saying to the fans boastfully. This is where they got him back in the ring. But soon after, not until soon after, Ridge Holland got back on his feet and knocked down, I believe, Kit Wilson, and then he tags in Butch. He started doing his comeback, and then he started doing more of it on the Montez Ford when he got back in the ring, hitting that step up, that running roundhouse kick that he does, and then this is where he This is where he made him roll out of the ring until he went round to the mid ropes, hits a moonsault on both Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, and Kit Wilson and Elton Prince, aka the Street Profits and the Pretty Deadly. This is where Butch strolls into Montez Ford, or was it Angelo Dawkins? I think it was Angelo Dawkins, or it could have been Montez Ford. I think it was Angelo Dawkins. He throws him back in the ring, kicks him in the midsection, hits a standing backflip sliced bread right in the middle of the canvas. This is where he pins Angelo Dawkins, but he only got a 2 even count. This is where Butch tried to go for the armbar, but this is where Angelo Dawkins was trying to escape, and he was hanging on. But Butch tried to escape, but Butch went for the triangle choke onto Angelo Dawkins. This is where Angelo Dawkins picks him up, spins him around, and did a helicopter hit right onto Elton Prince with Butch. This is where he hits a spine buster / powerbomb right onto Elton Prince, right onto his ribs. And then he fell flat on the ground. 3 men were down. This is where Kit Wilson, Ridge Holland, and Montez Ford got back into their corners respectively, trying to ask for the tag from their respective tag partners in triple. That did happen. Butch tagging Ridge Holland, Elton Prince tagging Kit Wilson, and Angelo Dawkins tagging Montez Ford, which we saw Ridge Holland and Montez Ford start hitting fists right onto each other. But this is where Kit Wilson tried to get in and hit both of them. But this is where he got knife edge pit slap by Montez Ford. This is where Ridge Holland hits a huge British headbutt right onto Montez Ford. This is where we had a rebound clothesline, like if Dean Ambrose was still there, from Kit Wilson. This is where Kit Wilson went right on the top rope, which I was like, I'm not sure if that's going to work because Ridge Holland was on the other side, nearly diagonal from him. But this is where Ridge Holland got up. This is where he hits a right hand on the top rope. This is where Ridge Holland was carrying him. This is where he goes for a suplex to Kit Wilson. He was getting ready to do it right on the top rope, but this is where Elton Prince snuck a tag right onto the leg of Kit Wilson. I was like, wait, is that legal? Even if you tag in their leg, I guess as long as you tag, as long as you touch them in any side of their body parts, like what if it's the leg, arm, back, chest, whatever it is, they get tagged in. But because it is like a game of tag, but this is where he gets the suplex. This is where he does hit the suplex after he tags himself in the match. This is where Montez Ford hit the frog splash onto Ridge Holland, soon after he suplexed Kit Wilson. This is where Elton Prince went on the top rope and went to the heavens just like Montez Ford, but he hits a big leg drop right onto the Ridge Holland to take advantage. This is where he got a 1 and the 2, but Angelo Dawkins and Butch was there right on time to stop the cover and came for the save. And then Butch was like, I hope that wasn't 3. Hopefully that's 2. Was that 2 or 3? This is where Bobby Lashley was watching WWE. This is where he was watching WWE backstage onto the interview studio on the monitor TV. This is where B-Fab joined him and watched with him and meet up. And then this is where Bobby Lashley said, you see the work they're doing, and my boys Montez and Angelo's doing. This is where B-Fab was like, yeah, absolutely, because that's all you that did all that. Just hear me out, Bobby. And then this is where Elton Prince and Kit Wilson was hanging on to the left side of the ropes. This is where he thought I knife edge chops them respectively. I was like, whoa, I hope. And then this is where he does the same to Montez and Angelo Dawkins of the Street Profits. I was like, hopefully Gunther don't see this. He would beat him again, even though he's not in a wrestling match with him, and he'll probably murk him with a Gunther bomb. But anyways, that's where he started hitting right hands back from both Montez and Angelo of the Street Profits. going back and forth. This is where he tried to go for a double clothesline to both Elton and Kit of the Pretty Deadly, but they flipped him right over the top rope into a body drop onto the outside on the left side of the ringside area. But soon after, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford hit a double step up instigiri right onto both Kit Wilson and Elton Prince. This is where Holland hit the double clothesline from hell to both Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, the Street Profits, and the same with Kit Wilson and Elton Prince of the Pretty Deadly. This is where Rich Holland was back in the match, like I should say. Like this is where it was playing comeback, and this is where he tried to go for the half of Nelson slam. But this is where Elton Prince went for an elbow, but this is where Butch tried to help him go for a bro kick, but this is where Elton Prince ducked right on time, and he accidentally kicks his own partner. And I was like, uh-oh, don't tell me we're going to see a breakup between Ridge Holland and Butch of the Brawling Brutes. I was like, I hope not. Like, even though they said they see some singles potential in him in the main roster from the past year of being on Friday Night SmackDown, but I was saying like, and they also said they're thinking about bringing back his Pete Dunne name at the end of this year or the beginning of 2024. Like that's only when he become a solo act. But I hope they don't break up anytime soon, at least not until Sheamus comes back, my opinion, of course. But this is where Montez Ford took advantage of this situation. This is where Butch got thrown out by Elton Prince. This is where Montez Ford threw Elton Prince out of the ring. This is where they did their new blockbuster neckbreaker maneuver that they usually do for the 1, 2, 3. And they were going to meet the Judgment Day in 7 days from the night, of course, for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. And let me ask you this. Do you think that the Street Profits will possibly win the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship, bringing them back home to SmackDown, and they'll possibly be the WWE Tag Team Championships alone, and then Raw could possibly have the World Tag Team Championships, which I think that should happen in a business perspective, I'll say things, because we already have the WWE and the WWE Women's Championship, which is held by Roman Reigns and Io Sky on SmackDown. So why not bring the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships to SmackDown? And they could be known as just the WWE Tag Team Championship with a new design, like a good-looking design, like from the Ruthless Aggression era days, but newer. And also have the World Tag Team Championships like on Raw because they have the World Heavyweight Championship and the Women's World Championship on Raw. Like that's currently held by Seth freaking Rollins and Rhea Ripley, respectively. But anyways, yeah, I think that's what I think they should do. But it could be the Judgment Day retain, and they can continue their dominant faction run, continuing to be the tag team champions. But this is where Rich Holland looks disappointed and looks not happy. This is where Butch tried to apologize, but I'm not sure he would accept apology at this time. I'm not sure if he ever will, and if he does, we probably will see him pretend just to have a plan for him to turn his back on him, I guess. Which, if not already, well, he's turned his back for only one night, but it doesn't mean he's stabbing him in the back. Because he just pushed him off, and walked away from Butch because he bro kicked him, even though he accidentally did so. But he's still not sure if he should trust him, like especially for accidentally being the cost of losing this match. And he was like, "Wait, come back, it's okay." And this is where Rich Holland looked like it's not okay. Like I'm tired of losing, and I'm tired of not getting the opportunities that I deserve, from the past 2 years of being into the main roster. And then Butch was like, come on, I didn't purposely did it. And even Michael Cole even said that. It's not like he purposely did that. He was trying to aim at Elton Prince, a guy that they've been brutally feuding with from the past couple of months. But anyways, I'm going to let y'all decide what's going to happen next what's next for the Brawling Brutes. Are they going to stick together? Possibly with a motivational talk about sticking together as a team by Sheamus, or do you think we're going to see either before or after Sheamus's return, we're going to see a Ridge Holland heel turn, like after Butch accidentally bro kicked him, and Butch could go back as Pete Dunne, the bruiserweight. But yeah, only time will tell when that happens. But let's move on to the next news now. News. Let's go on to talk about the next segment, I should say, and that is that it was ever since ever since the LWO ever since what's his name ever since Rey Mysterio lost the United States Championship from Logan Paul, the LWO is not really doing really good. Like, especially with Carlito throwing accusations on Carlito of leaving the brass knucks and shaming him, and Santos Escobar did not took that kindly of him accusing him for stealing his brass knucks. And not stealing. Leaving the brass knucks, like. Stealing, I said steal. Leaving the brass knucks for Logan Paul, like thinking that he purposely left them there so Logan Paul can take an advantage, and he was jealous of Rey Mysterio becoming the United States Champion, and he's claiming that he got jealous of him stealing the spot away, but that's not really true. Like, Rey Mysterio did it for the LWO. Like, that was the point of taking Santos' spot. But anyways, this is where Carlito, they showed the recap of that, and then Santos Escobar turning heel on them last week, which that was really not good, like, for the LWO. But yeah, this is where we have Santos Escobar entering the ring and expressing his reasons why he attacked Rey Mysterio, which Rey Mysterio was at the hospital. He had his leg bandaged, and I believe he got knee surgery. Yeah, that's right. Legitimately, I'm hoping and praying for a full and fast and speedy recovery for Rey Mysterio, like, for sustaining his injury recently, which I'm not sure if it was from the spot with Santos Escobar or even before there. And they were just Santos Escobar was doing that just to write him off for TV, and he can get that surgery and recover, so he can be on his way of feuding with former LWO member, recent former LWO member Santos Escobar, which I believe the feud will probably start like anytime in December or January, if you ask me. Even if it main events like a SmackDown episode, like possibly the SmackDown, the final last SmackDown of 2023, or even a go home SmackDown, go home edition of Friday Night SmackDown at the Royal Rumble. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. We're gonna move on to Dragon Lee taking on. Before we have Santos Escobar, I want to talk about Dragon Lee taking on the main roster debuting Axiom, and that's right. Axiom has finally made his WWE main roster debut on Friday Night SmackDown. This was a shocking appearance from the former NXT Heritage Cup trophy winner. Like he made his main roster debut, like fighting in a very tremendous match, perhaps the second match of the night, or maybe the third match of the night, for the fact that the triple threat tag team match, number one contenders match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships was really good. But this is where we had Dragon Lee grabbing him his legs, trying to go for some kind of a leg lock, but he gets pushed away by Axiom. But this is where Dragon Lee. I said Austin. I must be thinking of Austin Theory. But anyways, he drags on his arms, where he tried Irish whip. But this is where Axiom threw back. This is where he pulled back and then tried to go for a backslide, but he only got a 1-2 even count. This is where he kicks him right in the midsection. This is where he goes right on the. This is where he goes and dodges what's his name? Dodges Axiom's dodges Axiom's attack. He hits him with a wheelbarrow roll up, which only got him a 1 even count. This is where he hit a headlock slam right onto to Axiom. This is where he continues the headlock until Axiom picks him up, Irish whip him right into the left side of the ropes, right to the right side, the left corner ropes. This is where he throws him in the left corner ropes. This is where he ducks, and then he tried to go for a missile drop kick, but Dragon Lee beat him to it, or I don't think beat him to it. He He did a double drop kick, but it seemed like Dragon Lee's legs were stronger because he has that power of, I guess, that Dragon Lucha Libre in him, I suppose. This is where everybody was cheering on the upcoming SmackDown star, which he's showing that he could be the next Rey Mysterio. This is where, in the process, he hits a diving, rolling senton right onto Axiom. This is where he put his fingers up, because everybody possibly want to see him be a star on Friday Night SmackDown. This is where Dragon Lee goes right back in the ring. This is where he hits a foot stomp right onto the face of Axiom. Hits a springboard right-legged kick right onto the face of Axiom. This is where he hits another one, like when he went to the left side, possibly paying tribute to his brother that's on All Elite Wrestling. This is where he only got a 2.5 count. This is when this is where Dragon Lee also then. This is where Dragon Lee then got up, picks up Axiom back up. This is where he tried to go for his powerbomb finishing maneuver that he usually do. That looks like a last ride, like a sit out last ride. But this, when he tried to lift him up in the air, this is where Axiom intercepts and hits the most rarest and the most insane Canadian destroyer I've ever seen in WWE. I was like, wow, Canadian destroyers are very rare and very and very unlikely in WWE's vocabulary. I heard they're banned. And the only way you can use it if you ask for permission on a certain spot. But it looks like it either that's the case or Axiom just accidentally hit the maneuver because he was trying to play it safe. That was the safest way to bring down the former AAA tag team champion. This is where he trips him over. This is where he goes for a pin, but he only got a 2.999 negative 0.1 second away from being 3 with that whiplash Canadian destroyer. And I was like, wow, this is the most insanely and amazingly and rarest counter maneuver that I've ever seen in sports entertainment. But yeah, anyway, this is where Dragon Lee he flips over Dragon Lee right onto the top right corner, onto the apron. This is where Dragon Lee hits that step up Instagiri right into the head of Axiom, which he landed onto the canvas into the corner. This is where Dragon Lee went right on the top rope. This is where he was finishing off, hitting his finishing splash. But this is where Axiom hits a countering step up Instagiri right onto Dragon Lee. This is where he heads up right on the top rope to hit the most amazing Spanish fly in Lucha Libre and sports entertainment / pro wrestling history. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but he only got a 1-2 and this is where Axiom couldn't believe it. He was like, how in the world did he just kicked out of a maneuver like that? That gets very rare for a opponent when I successfully execute this move. It's very rare that they kick out of such a maneuver like this one. This is where he picks up. This is where he picks up Dragon Lee. This is where he tried to this is where he says something like, I respect the hell out of you, but I'm not gonna let you win, and I'm going to make my debut a show that they'll never forget. And this is where he kicks him, boots him right in the face. This is where he tried to attack him, but which that was very nonsensical, because if you don't know what move you're using specifically, now it would be no point of going to attack your opponent. This is where he moved. This is where Dragon Lee dodges out of the way. He hits the dipping springboard, and then this is where Dragon Lee goes for the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. But he picks him up and hit a one-handed power bomb right onto Dragon Lee. I mean, not Dragon Lee, Axiom. I'm starting to get mixed up with Dragon Lee being like Axiom, but he only got a 2.99999. This is where Dragon Lee finally, I guess, put him away when he hit him with that running knee driver. This is where he went back into the upper right corner of Tina the turnbuckle. This is where he was getting ready to hit that rolling head DDT maneuver, his finishing move, which is that rolling flip reverse DDT maneuver, which got him the 1-2-3, and then he remains of having some momentum into his run on SmackDown, gain his momentum. And if he's lucky enough, he could possibly be the next opponent for Logan Paul's next United States title defense. And if that's the case, I'm not sure if Dragon Lee will win, but I think this will show a sign that he's more than ready of his next title match as well. Like, not only he's more than ready for now, he could get another title match like in the foreseeable future. But we also hear rumors that we could possibly see a dream match, like a storyline dream match, like a dream match storyline with Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, on either, whether if it's on SmackDown or NXT, which the original plan was supposed to be NXT, but I think they'll move it to the main roster on Friday Night SmackDown. But yeah, y'all sound off in the comment section right down below on what y'all think. What is he what he's gonna be having this particular dream match with the 20-year mask underdog. But anyways, we're gonna move on to the next. We're gonna move on to the next segment. But yeah, I would say that was very entertaining. Yeah, absolutely the third match of the night, on my opinion. I would say I would give it at least 3.5 or 4 stars alone for that match. Definitely. I think Axiom's ready to be on the main roster because he put on the show that's gotta have at least one of the guys into the in management in the main roster and in the back, more than impressed to upgrade him to the main roster full time, fully in a full-time base, at least 1 to 2 once or twice a week, of wrestling in matches on the Blue brand, which I believe this should be a genius move for WWE. But anyway, we're gonna talk about up next with Santos Escobar, explaining the reason why he attacked Rey Mysterio, which we already know even last week on what's the reason why. He's the jealous member of the LWO, and he was supposed to be the right-hand man and the brother and the best friend of Rey Mysterio, and not Carlito. Which I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Even though him accusing him for leaving the brass knucks to cost Rey Mysterio the United States Championship didn't make it any better, but still, it's not like he's trying to replace you, not trying to replace you, or even it's not like they're gonna replace you or even trying to get you in trouble. He just thought that you should be to blame about it, even though you shouldn't have said it like that. You should have been more respectful about it. Perhaps I'm talking about in the storyline perspective. Anyway, this is where we got Santos Escobar into with his returning theme music, which he had his Legado del Fantasma. I was like, I was like, yeah, this is probably for the best that he goes back to his old theme music because it's very catchy and it's perfect for him whenever he's a heel. Like when he's a heel and he looks like that, like a Latino businessman that's like that has that does business with the mob, with the mob or the mafia or the cartels, and he has somebody beat up that's like an enemy or someone owes him money. Like he looks like that kind of guy that sent some some cartel thugs to beat him down for him. That's what he looks like in his suit on tonight's SmackDown. But anyway, I'll be right back. I'm gonna check on my nephew because I'm babysitting him right now, and I'm the only man in the house that's keeping an eye on him until my brother is done doing his errands. So excuse me for a second. Okay. Okay. He's doing perfectly fine, taking his nap. Well, anyways, this is where Santos Escobar went around the microphone when everybody was booing him and saying he sucks. He was like, hmm. This was like, hello, everybody. Everybody was booing like, boo, we don't want you here. Like, especially what you did to what did you did to Rey Mysterio, and you suck. Like, you suck. He's like, like I come from, you know where I come from in tradition, like family. All of us call us heroes, and fans was just like, what? And he's like, to me, like most of you, especially that little ones right there, pointing out the young fans in the audience. He was like, my hero was Rey Mysterio, and the fans were repeatedly saying, what? Like, I earned in everything my career, and on the credit of Rey Mysterio, and everybody's like, what? And he's like, it's not wish. Like, it's so like wish. Like the next generation. Like it's not really a wish. I know that I'm gonna be like an inspiration for the young stars that's trying to be the next me. Like I was the next Rey Mysterio. Like I'm supposed to be. I was like Santos. Like I don't think you would be the perfect next Rey Mysterio. I would say you could be the next Andrade or next even Eddie Guerrero, like which I don't think nobody could ever be a new Eddie Guerrero, not even Angel Garza or his cousin Humberto Carrillo. But anyways, this is where we had everybody booing him. This is where Santos Escobar was like, after last week, like I realized that he was right. Everything he said about you, like down to a T, Dominic was right about you. And everybody was going, boo. Like you're supposed to be like his son, but now you're even more worse than Dominic. That's what fans are. And I was thinking the same thing. Like it's already bad enough he had his actual biological son being betraying him, but now his pretend son betraying him. Like it's just way too much for the poor mass luchador. Yeah, like too much to handle. Like when people thought he could trust, he gets turned on. Like, I mean, I thought Roman Reigns was the only guy that you can easily turn on. But anyways, this is where Santos Escobar was like, I'm just saying, like, I just thought about it for a second. Like, I deserve to be the United States champion. And I hope we got, who became the champion? Now I want to rebuild the LWO. And he's like, and who took over as the new, with new members, and they would become the leader? Like new members like Carlito, fans started were cheering for Carlito. This is where Santos was like, "Hey, Carlito," like, and this is where he started saying something to him in Spanish, which I believe he's probably sending a message to him, and perhaps uh like him saying like he was not supposed to be in the LWO and he wants to challenge him in the match. And this what like and he was like we're supposed to be like family until like forever, but you decided to pick an outsider like Carlito over me. Like, are you serious, Mysterio? And like, you know what, Ray? I, I bet you're watching in a hospital bed right about now. And he was like, yeah, like all this pain you're suffering right now. I hope it reminds you of how I felt when you betrayed me and take up for that outsiding sellout Carlito. He was like each and every one of you guys too. And then Santos was like, and you know, there's one more. You thought I was gonna come out here and apologize for Rey Mysterio, right? Like I would never apologize. Like I apologize for not doing more damage than I already did to his knee. I was like, yeah, but that's like attempted murder, like what you're doing to Mysterio. Like at least in kayfabe, of course, not reality. But anyway, there's the crime encounter of the night, like with Santos Escobar telling everybody he was trying to attempt murder onto the masked underdog. But anyway, this is where he also said on his microphone saying, from the bottom of my heart, I hope the surgery didn't go well. I hope you catch an infection and you have to amputate your leg off. And then this is where Rey Mysterio's like, I mean, not Rey Mysterio, Michael Cole was like, all right, he's going too far. Like, someone needs to turn off his microphone. I was like, yeah, perhaps I know he's being a heel and he's saying what's on the line, but I think it's distasteful and it's going to leave a bad taste in all the fans and even himself's mouth, like of saying that about Rey Mysterio. Even though he's trying to get over as a heel, I don't think this is the best way to go. Is to wish the worst, like of getting of trying to threaten to decapitate his legs off, like any of his legs, whether if it's his left or right, or even if it was his arms, like whatever limbs it may be, like it doesn't matter, like of doing that, like because it's like going a little bit too far. You shouldn't wish and death upon anybody like that. Like it's just not right. Like I know this is all part of the script, but maybe this is a distasteful line to say right here. I was like, maybe he could call them insults and say he beats him up and stuff, and saying he's a terrible wrestler. He could call him insults like that all day long and saying it should have been him being United States champion except for him. That was fine because he was playing the jealous heel, the jealous member of the form of him being the LWO. Yeah. This is where Zelina Vega came out. This is where she was trying to stop him from saying these horrible things about Rey Mysterio. She was like, "What are you thinking and what are you doing here, Santos Escobar?" And then this is where Santos was like, "You." And then this is where Zelina Vega was like, what are you doing, Santos? Like I thought like you were like I thought you were our family. I thought you were our brother. And then he's like, "You're never my brother." Like it was me. Like you decided to choose him over me. Like so why are you asking me this and why are you getting on my face? Like you need to go over there. You need to stay back there where you belong with Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild. And this is what that's kind of made her more upset and pissed her off because she slapped Santos right into the face, and then he went towards right to the left. This is where he was like, "Did you just literally slap me?" Like we give every sacrifices to you, and this is how you repay us, like of the LWO, like And this is where Santos was like, "Oh, you really think you're gonna get away with that, huh?" This is where Zelina Vega was doing a really good job selling this and acting herself off by doing this, like playing the role of this storyline with Santos Escobar turning heel onto Rey Mysterio and the LWO. Like look like she's like if he's literally turning on him and doing such evil things, and it's making her very upset, like with mixed emotions like anger and sadness. But this is where Zelina Vega goes to Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild back to them, like doing a doing a like and like this is where like they like went and did a group hug like of the stuff of sadness, I should say. This is where they did that, and this is where Santos Escobar started continue saying picking somebody over him, saying like oh Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild, you're choosing to take up for her side over me. Like if it had been for me, you wouldn't even be here right now. Like I'm the one that made you two. Like you you should be thanking me because I'm the one that allowed you to exist on here. I was like, maybe so in NXT, but it don't seem like that much in the main roster. Like even for y'all team in the main roster, it's not like y'all were getting getting that over. Like for you being the reason why. I was like, yeah, maybe you're the reason why with the faction, but that doesn't mean they were collecting star power because of you. Like they didn't gain more star power until they teamed with Rey Mysterio as the LWO. Like of course. But at the same time, they did. I gotta hand it to him. They were noticed because of Santos Escobar at first, but it didn't mean that they were becoming they were immediately becoming like successful stars until later on. But yeah, what do y'all think like about Santos Escobar's heel turn? Y'all let me know in the comments below. Like, but also like when he was like come over here, like we're no longer a team, yeah, we're done. And then he attacked them from behind when they got their backs turned. I was like, which was a bad idea, boys. Like you shouldn't have you shouldn't have had y'all's back turns and try to walk off. Like you also make sure that he was not gonna attack you from behind. Like you always watch your back before you get attacked from behind. But yeah. But yeah, he told Joaquin Wild at the end, like when he's like, I made you, now I'm going to destroy you. And he tried to go for this phantom power bomb, but Carlito scared him right out of the ring. This is where he was like you he was like, yeah, like you're talking all this trash about me behind my back, but how about saying it to my face? And this is where he's like, no, I don't need this. He he went out of the ringside, and this is where he went to the audience. And he was like, I am the real true Latino star. Like he was telling it to everybody, which I was like, did you really need to tell that to everybody? Like, I'm not sure if that was even necessary whatsoever, but whatever. Like it didn't make any sense. Like only I'll say maybe he has a point about this. I'll say maybe he kind of has a point about like he should be United States champion, but did he really have to do that by that? But he really had to say that about Rey Mysterio though. Like I don't agree with him saying he should have his leg amputated. Like that just was very distasteful. But anyways, this is where we have Grayson Waller taking on Cameron Grimes into tonight's mid-card match, like which I believe this is the match right before LA Knight takes on Jimmy Uso. I'm keep getting them mixed up, like if they're Axiom and Dragon Lee. But I'll say this was very averagely good, like just something that to put on the show, like with Grayson Waller, to give Grayson Waller something to do, like until next week when he next week when he goes face to face with Kevin Owens, which I'm gonna get to that in just a moment after this match. And this is where Cameron Grimes was bringing the offense to Grayson Waller. Like he was giving him a fight that no other lower mid cards have given him yet, unless it was Kevin Owens. But he's more of a main eventer than a mid carder now. But anyways, he hits a rolling roll up onto him. This is where he hits a drop kick. This is where he drags Grayson Waller when he's trying to crawl out of the ring. But when he tried to pull him back in the middle of the canvas for a pin, but he gets this is where Grayson Waller hits a striking right kick right into the jaw of Grayson Waller. What's his name? Grayson Waller kicks does this to Cameron Grimes. Like how can I not know his name? Like obviously it's Cameron Grimes. This is where Grayson Waller hits this rolling facebuster maneuver, looking like the pay dirt that Shelton Benjamin used to do. And this is where Austin Theory's like, that's true athleticism that you're seeing, you guys. And then once Grayson Waller started beating down Cameron Grimes, this is where Austin Theory started clapping of support to his tag partner. He still he still had him in a sleeper hold, like after he did a couple of a fist right into Cameron Grimes' face. This is where under Cameron Grimes Irish whip him right into the corner, try to go for a roll up. This is where Cameron Grimes hits a double forearm right onto Grayson Waller into a comeback maneuver. This is where he hits a gut buster right onto Grayson Waller. He hits a forward roundhouse kick and then spin back and did a backwards roundhouse kick. And then this is where Cameron Grimes hits a single right leg drop kick right onto Grayson Waller's head. This is where Cameron Grimes like to the moon, but it was more of an angry, wild way. This is where he hits him with that spinning. It looked like he was going for a power slam, but slam him to a sit-out Uranagi. This is where Cameron Grimes tried to go for a double foot stomp, the same move that he got the win on his debut match against Baron Corbin. This is where Grayson Waller got rolled out of the ring by Austin Theory. This is where Grayson Waller. Cameron Grimes hit the side swipe kick right onto to what's his name to Austin Theory, which he brought him down with. This is where Grayson Waller took advantage of that moment to swing Cameron Grimes' leg back first right onto the hardest part of the ring apron, sending him back inside. This is where Grayson Waller getting ready to hit his finishing move, which is that rolling flip, unprettier slam, right, with Cameron Grimes' face bouncing onto the canvas, and got the 1, 2, 3. Like, of course he did, because he's the mid card star of Friday Night SmackDown, like a mid card megastar, like, and no, not LA Knight. LA Knight's main event megastar. Like, while Grayson Waller's doing a very massively good job, like being a success in mid card, like playing the arrogant and annoying heel alongside Austin Theory. And also, like, remember I said about Kevin Owens returning next week? Well, he is, and he's going to be a special guest of the Grayson Waller Effect on Grayson Waller's SmackDown talk show, which used to be a NXT talk show. But it seems like that the suspension of Kevin Owens is not 30 days. Look, thank God it wasn't, because we wouldn't be seeing them anytime until sometime in December, probably in the middle or towards the end of December, which that wasn't the case. I believe Nick Aldis just gave him the 14 days, because that's probably like a rule. Like if you like break a rule, like if you get physical with the wrestlers, and even though you're not in the ring and you're filling in for a commentator, like you get suspended like for 2 weeks. But what do you think? What to expect on the Grayson Waller Effect less than 7 days from now? are we going to see the prize fighter bring more of the fight to the too arrogant duo, this too arrogant dynamic duo, or do you think that I'll say I'm not sure if to call them a dynamic duo, but this is where Bianca Belair had a chat with Zelina Vega, saying like I know you're in an emotional moment with Santos turning on you guys, but I really need a partner, and if I'm wondering if you can be on my team. And she also did this with Michi and Mia Yim, asked her if she could be in her team, but they as soon as Bianca left and when they were alone, respectively, like on two separate times, like this is where they get attacked by Damage Control, and then when Bianca Belair tries to stop them, it'll be too late. Like the damages has already been done to the poor mid card women's baby faces, like Michin and Zelina Vega. But up next, we got Solo Sikoa coming into the ring, coming to the ring with Paul Heyman cutting his promo and basically explain what just happened with John Cena when he simply got smashed by the enforcer of the bloodline. This is where Paul Heyman said his catchphrase to the Indianapolis, Indiana fans. He was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and the surprise of the night, joining us live here tonight, the 16-time reigning defending championship, from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, John Cena." And he was like, "Oh, but he's not here tonight because the enforcer Solo has spiked him, but not one, not two, not three, not four, but over a dozen thousand times." Well, that's metaphorically speaking, but you get the point. Like, he was rambling about he just hitting him with nothing but spikes after spike after spike to Cena until he's like, John Cena can't say anything because Cena says so, because he can't say so because John Cena can barely speak. And that's all because and thanks to Solo. John Cena cannot speak, can he? And he was like John Cena have also walked in respect. Admiration, for each and every single one of you guys. John Cena doesn't have the heart to say that goodbye to the C Nation of the WWE universe. And he's like, so I get to say the goodbye to John Cena, and I'm gonna get to say goodbye to you. Say goodbye to you guys for John Cena as well. And on the behalf of your tribal chief, Roman Reigns, on the behalf of Jimmy Uso and half of Solo Sikoa, John Cena, goodbye forever. And I was like, really? How do you know if he's going to be gone in the ring and no longer compete forever, ever again? Forever and forever, never, ever, ever again, forever, I should say. Yeah. How do you know if he's not going to come back probably anytime in 2024? Because it looked like that was his last match of 2023, of him returning because of the SAG-AFTRA strike. But now that's now ended, and he's going to be able to be casting in multiple movies again, most likely in 2024. Whether if it's in the beginning or or the middle of the summer or whenever, or even at the end, like at this time, like in the fall time, in the winter time, like in October, November, December. Like since that's over, and then like it looks like John Cena's gonna be away from WWE until further notice, until he gets some more time to go back to WWE. And if he has some time to come back, like right before WrestleMania, I believe this could be a sign that I believe that could be a sign that John Cena will have his match, and it will be against Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania, or should I say, the showcase of the Immortals. Like, and he will get his revenge on the Solo and have a happy ending of his career of finally getting that singles win. Which, even though it'll probably be like, it'll take him another year just to get a singles win, which will be 6 long years. But yeah, that's the way I'm seeing this, how WWE is booking this. If John Cena if they have any plans for him to come back, like right before WrestleMania in 2024, of course, WrestleMania 40 even. And he's like, now how how furious this is, because that was John's cue. Like, so someone comes out here and says, you never see him again. But you think that he will never come back, but then what you at least expected, he comes out here here's me which was the most horrendous imitation of John Cena's theme music I've ever heard from an individual. And he comes out with that entrance, and then he's like, John Cena, he slides in the ring, and he does the 5 moves of doom and the attitude adjustments, and then and then by Solo or Jimmy Uso, and he comes into the ring, and everybody goes crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if this is gonna make it any better either way. Especially how do we know if John Cena will never wrestle again, even though after this loss of taking over double dozens of Samoan spikes that Solo Sikoa has given him, and during that match 2 weeks ago at Crown Jewel. But anyways, Paul Heyman was like all because of Mr. Solo. Fans start booing, boo, Umaga ripoff, get out of the ring. That's what everybody was doing. They're booing him. This is where Paul Heyman's like, even if John does come back, Solo has to be his opponent. Solo has to be his target. Otherwise, he's not John Cena. We all know he's John Cena 24/7. I was like, maybe you're right about that. About the next, even if he did show up and come back, he'll be against Solo Sikoa, and he'll be getting some kind of revenge on him, which I think that's going to happen. Me personally, I'm not saying it is, but it would make sense in the storyline perspective of this situation between Solo and John Cena. And he's he also said he couldn't communicate because he's not John Cena, and it'll be all because of Solo. And then he's like Jimmy, you Jimmy, would have been the greatest promo of his career. He just had to acknowledge the real GOAT, and none of this would have happened, Jimmy. But he couldn't even say goodbye. He couldn't even say goodbye. So Solo spiked him straight into the throat, and he's like, no, we won't. He see him in Hollywood. That's too far. If a place there. You can't literally see John Cena because John Cena won't be here. And he's like, and it's all because, and then for him saying it for the 3rd time, thinking it is going to be the charm. This is where LA Knight came in. He's like, wait, not yet. And then he told probably the guy that plays the plays the wrestler's theme songs like now, like some of Simon Miller would say. And we hear like L.A. Doom. And then this is where LA Knight said his usual catchphrase, "Let me talk to you." And he's like, hey, you, Mr. Heyman, like you cause an effect, like what's causing the effect that you're in the mission, like no matter how good Roman Reigns has been, like everybody knows the only reason Roman Reigns is still the championship today is because of the bloodline. Like, yeah, and the fans said along and say, yeah, because he was speaking nothing but the facts. Because if it hadn't been for Jimmy Uso, which he probably earned a bonus, like he said last week on his last on last week on November 10th, I believe, November 10th SmackDown episode. He said like he must have earned a big pay, a big raise on his pay, like for helping Roman Reigns retain his undisputed championship with that distraction. He's like, everybody here, like, no, that's a real problem. He's like, the whole knows that that's a total real problem. And everybody was chanting, yeah. Like, and he also said, like, even I know that's a problem. Like, and then he said, I'm just standing here, like, on SmackDown because I made it. Like I made it the problem for the bloodline. And then he's like, I stood the WWE champion at Crown Jewel because I made that moment. And he's like, the bloodline it used to exist because I'll make it that way. And everybody's chanting, yeah, like when he started preaching the facts about his feud with Roman Reigns, like ever since he challenged him for the Undisputed Championship at the end of October, back last month. And he said, I'm not going to be finished with the bloodline yet until I take down Roman Reigns once and for all and take his WWE Championship and be declared the new champion. When everybody will say, my name L.A. Knight, yeah. And it's like, so Solo... Like Solo, Jimmy, and Paul, like all y'all gonna fall. It's gonna be y'all gonna be the victims that's gonna fall from the bloodline, and it'll be me and Roman into our next battle. And he's like, and tonight, like the next stop in the path is gonna be little Jimmy Uso tonight. And fans are like, yeah, like we want to see that match right now. And Jimmy Uso would say, oh, well, that's no one that I can agree with you and the fans. It's gonna be me and you tonight. Like with his goofy ass, like I was like, why are you still not? Like, why you haven't joined Impact Wrestling? But anyways, this is where, like I heard MC Boss Hogg out here, which I believe he was referring to Paul Heyman as him. But you could probably hear plenty of laughs waving around the arena because I heard that there's nothing but like a code of laughs like that was covering the audios, like when right after he said that, like I was like yeah, that was truly funny, like it really was, like not trying to play along with this, but it really was funny, like about calling him MC Boss Hogg. And he's like the only thing he don't have is the lyric styling, like about Jumbo Uso. It goes like this. Like he says, "Yeet, no yeep." It's like same as him. Jim don't do exactly exactly what he said. Like Jim the. Yeah, I got some for Jimbo Uso. He says, "Yeet, but no yeet." Like Jim is him, but Jim don't do them. after all the drama, After he got hit with the BFT, which is known as the blood force trauma. Yeah, and then this is where we do have this match between the Megastar and the Jealous Uso. And then up next, and then this is where we had them start off, and then they got into a grapple after like starting things off, and then LA Knight's you know what, forget this, and he started hitting right hands like if he was Dwayne the Rock Johnson, hitting the right hands and the striking ones to be the exact, and kicks Jamie Uso right into the midsection, Irish whip him towards the top corner of ropes. This is where he hits a body drop. Once Jimmy Uso got into his way, this is where he picked. This is where it goes for a suplex, and then this is where he only got a one even count after the suplex. But I also want to point out that Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa walked out of the ring because he had a phone call, which my theory or hunch that it's the tribal chief himself, which I believe he asked him to not. He told him not to be in ringside. I was like, well, what does Roman Reigns is? The secret general manager? Why else he thinks he can call the shots? Even though it has something to do with the bloodline, but it just don't make any sense that he ordered Paul Heyman, even though that's a special counsel. But that doesn't mean he runs what Paul Heyman does. In a way, no matter what, it just don't make any sense. That was basically 2 + 2 = potatoes of the night. But anyways, this is where LA Knight went right on. Put Jimmy Uso right into the bottom right corner. This is where he starts stomping on Jimmy Uso onto Jimmy Uso. Fans were chanting "yeah" repeatedly. This is where the referee was all right, you don't have you did enough. You don't have to keep repeating now. He's down. You had to letting him get back up and off the ropes. You need. This is what the referee said to him, and to make sure it's a 5. When they did this 2 seconds out of the 5-second warning count. This is where Jimmy Uso rolled out of the ring when he tried to knee him right through the bottom right corner, or the lower right corner. I should say the lower right corner of the bottom turnbuckle. This is where he rolls out. This is where LA Knight falls him on the outside, hitting strikes of right hands onto the self-proclaimed main event Jim Uso. But he gets kneed insta-giri by Jim, when LA Knight tried to get up and try to get into the ring. This is where Jey Uso tried to go for a striking fist right onto Jimmy Uso, but he gets countered by LA Knight. He gets hit with a shoulder block from the Megastar. This is where LA Knight hits a striking right hand like if he was Dwayne again, but I still think he's just being a cosplayer. But anyways, he hits an elbow strike. No disrespect for the Megastar, but anyways, this is where LA Knight Irish whipped him right to the left, towards the right side. This is where Jimmy Uso goes for a Samoa drop right onto LA Knight, and I checked that he really was Samoan. Obviously, I did a double research onto Jimmy Uso, I should say. This is where Jimmy Uso thought he had the upper hand onto the Megastar, but he was being confident as usual, because usually 9 times out of 10 he don't usually win one-on-one matches. But anyway, this is where he starts stomping LA Knight right onto the throat, onto LA Knight onto the bottom ropes, where the referee told him all right, stop it, he's barely breathing, 1, 2, 3. And he got off a 3, or else he would have gotten disqualified if he still keep doing it for another 2 seconds. This is where he tried to hit a right hand onto to LA Knight, but LA Knight blocked it, hit right hands to him. He started striking, and this is where he started repeatedly doing. Jimmy Uso tried to hit right hands, but he was getting instantly picked off by LA Knight. This is where Jimmy Uso hits a striking right hand onto LA Knight. This is where he trying to think about going for another thing. Yeah, I'll do it. I was like, yeah, for the best, because if Gunther catches you repeatedly doing that, he's gonna probably think that Jay Uso Jay Uso could be a perfect target for him to chop on and make you feel it. But I don't think that's how it works with even for being twins. But anyways, I was like, but yeah, it's where Jimmy Uso goes for a try to go for a clothesline and clothesline dive right on the LA Knight, trying to knock him out of the ring into the right, towards the right corner of the ringside area. But this is where LA Knight flips him right over into a body drop outside. This is where he runs, go for a dive, and hits a right hand suicide dive, which he landed right on out on the announce table. He started bouncing his head right onto the out on the announce table, like when fans start chanting, yeah, 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 yeah. Where he put him right on the top, top of the announce table, like, and this is where LA Knight was standing on the exact same table. But he threw him right back in the ring, hitting the right hands once again. This is where he closed on him right onto the right corner. This is where he was not waiting until he hits his signature move, which is the LA Knight, the people's elbow, I should say. This is where he tried to go for this is where he Irish whipped him right to the corner again. This is where he hits a flapjack. But yeah, I'll say he's not waiting for his finishing move because he also hit a back suplex as well. This is where he went for a pin, but he kicks out. But this is where Jimmy Uso tried to go for a super kick, but he didn't know he didn't know what LA Knight had planned for him because he hit the BFT right out of nowhere, even though he had trouble at first, but he managed to grab him around his neck and slammed his face right onto the canvas. And LA Knight got the 1, 2, 3, and he made a statement and an example out of Jimmy Uso to the Tribal Chief, like that he's not done with him, and he's going to eventually get a rematch against the Tribal Chief, whether if it's being on SmackDown or the Premium Live event or the Premium Live event after a Survivor Series, which will be in January, which is the Royal Rumble. And do you think it's going to be LA Knight, or do you think it's going to be someone like an AJ Styles, which is rumored to be returning whenever Roman Reigns makes his return onto SmackDown television? But it said they canceled the plans for LA Knight. I mean, not LA Knight. The AJ Styles makes his return last week's SmackDown, but they had to cancel due to Roman Reigns going to take his 2 months of a leave of absence. But I think they're going to probably save his AJ Styles return until I believe like December or January, like so he can have his dream feud with the Tribal Chief, which I think that's going to happen. But at the same time, what about LA Knight? Which I believe he could have his match before LA. It could be LA Knight, or it could be this scenario, like either LA Knight have his rematch at Royal Rumble, and AJ Styles will have his match with Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber, which Roman Reigns could retain until WrestleMania. And also, but then again, it could be a triple threat match between Knight, Styles, and Reigns, which Roman Reigns could easily win, like with sneaking a spear to AJ Styles, and he takes the pinfall, which I believe this is my prediction. But anyway, this is where Solo Sikoa came out. This is where he tried to get ready to get into the ring. He slowly was walking, which he knew that this will give his brother Jim, his older brother Jim, enough time to get back up. This is where LA Knight's like, come on, get into this ring right now. Like, like, come on, like, I'm ready for you. This is where he gets attacked from behind from Jimmy Uso. This is where it was a 2-on-1 situation. And then guess who came out? It was Doink the Clown. No. Or was it Repo Man? No. Or it could be CM Punk. No. It was Randy Orton. He came back. No, really, it was it was the American Nightmare himself. That's right, Cody Rhodes. Out of all people, I was like, Cody Rhodes, like, ain't you a little early because you're supposed to don't you aren't you supposed to worry about Roman Reigns not until like 2024? Like you should be worrying about the Judgment Day in 2020, like now, for the little remainings of 2023 for War Games, because that is a week from tomorrow on at Saturday, a week from tomorrow, which is Saturday, like which is tomorrow on Saturday, November 20. I'll say, which is Saturday, November 25th. Yeah, November 25th. But yeah, he managed to fight off Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, which they ran out of there as soon as they gave him the beating that they will never forget. And then this is where the two guys that MJF admires stand up tall onto this brawl, this post match brawl, and what do you think about Cody Rhodes being on SmackDown, making a rare appearance on the SmackDown brand? Sound off in the comments below. And do you think that Cody Rhodes is gonna finish the story? But anyways, we have like this is where we had Nick Aldis this is where Nick Aldis found Cody Rhodes and tell him, like, what the hell is he doing here? Like, he's on Monday Night Raw. Which I was thinking the same thing. I was like, why is Cody Rhodes doing on Monday Night Raw if he's not Raw, Friday Night SmackDown if he's a Monday Night Raw wrestler. But this is where Cody Rhodes responded after saying this. When they were backstage, like, and also it's been announced that SmackDown is going to be on FS1, second ever time. The first ever we saw it being on FS1 two times in a row, I suppose. Hmm. Okay, let's see right here. He was like I happened to be in the neighborhood, and he was and I decided that I could be a help around here, and he was like, and I was trying to see like my bad, my bad. I was saying like what Cody Rhodes said, like he was I thought I was in the neighborhood, thought I might stop by and say hi to everybody, and I couldn't help but notice that LA Knight was outnumbered by the bloodlines, Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, so I thought I might give a lending hand, and this is where Nick Aldis is okay, like you did whatever you need to do, but you need to get out now because you're not allowed here because you're a Raw wrestler. And he's like, all right, I'm out. Like, I'm not trying to cause any trouble. And this is where he does get out. This is where we get Bianca Belair calling out damage control. Bianca Belair, Shotzi, and Charlotte Flair calling out damage control. Where Charlotte Flair's like, we can stand here all, we can. And Charlotte Flair was on the microphone said we can talk about like damage control all night long, but we are running out of time. Like we need, like me, Shotzi, and Bianca. We really need we definitely accept your War Games challenge, damage control. And you know what? I know a thing or two about turning on the best friend, which that should have gave me a clue what exactly she was referring to. And yeah, remember I told you that at the end of the show, like this segment ended like something similar to the opener of last year's Go Home show, SmackDown, before that year's Survivor Series War Games. It just gave me those vibes. I don't know why, but I just had that odd feeling about that. Well, we're gonna talk about that right here. Like there's no, and she was like, but there's like, yeah, I know about like stabbing back on a best friend, and there's no line between love and hate when it comes to war. Like there's only one person I want to that's gonna be on our side. This is where Bailey and her crew came out saying like, you're gonna you're not gonna make it to War Games actually. Like you're not gonna even make it out of the building with y'all standing on y'all's own 2 feet, like because we're gonna beat you down like brutally to the point that y'all won't be clear enough in time for the event. And I was like, but if you do that, then what's the point of even bringing up a challenging in a women's War Games match? But luckily that didn't happen because this is where Bianca, Shotzi, and Charlotte had their opponent. I mean, not their opponent. Their mystery partner revealed, and their member of their team, of the team women's baby faces, which it was none other than the man Becky Lynch. Yeah, it was very similar to how it was last year when it was Team Bianca against Team Bailey and Damage Control. But except Asuka and Kairi Sane's in this team this time instead of Rhea and Nikki ASH. And it's a 4-on-4 rather than being 5-on-5 as well. And this is where Becky Lynch came in, and this is where they started beating the absolute hell out of each other, like on one another. This is where Damage Control against team Bailey. I mean not Bailey, Bianca, Becky, and Charlotte and Shotzi with Charlotte hitting the moonsault onto Damage Control, and this is where Io Sky tried to go did a moonsault right after copying the Queen of Flares, even though that's her finishing move. Genuinely, she did to team like Bianca, Becky, and Shotzi. This is where Shaw Flair's like, oh really? Like you have to take a page out of my playbook, Io. This is where Shaw Flair and Io started brawling and started throwing fists on each other. This is where she Irish whipped her right onto the hardest part of the ring, which is the ring apron, onto the left side, the left corner of the ringside area. She Irish whips what's her name, tossing Kairi Sane right onto the bottom barricade, the bottom barricade, which is formerly known as Barry Bears. But yeah, this is how SmackDown ended, with everybody brawling with each other, like with Shotzi hitting Bailey face first, with Becky helping her with the forearms. Bianca was taking care of what's her name. Who was it? Asuka? It was Asuka, because she did betray her with the misspit on her face, and she took her earrings off and threw it right onto Asuka's face. And that's how SmackDown ended. I would say they had some really good matches, like with LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. We got the Street Profits against Pretty Deadly against the Brawling Brutes. We had Dragon Lee taking on Axiom. We got Dragon Lee taking on Axiom in a authentically decent match. But yeah, I would give it 4 stars out of 5 for tonight's SmackDown. And what you thought about SmackDown tonight for those who watched? And do you think it was really good, or do you think it could have been better and it wasn't that good? Or I'll say I don't think it was that good. I think it was very averagely good, like right into the middle, like something that will keep you tuned in and see what's going to be next for next week's SmackDown, and also what's to come for Survivor Series War Games. Like, and who do you think's going to win Team Bianca, with Becky Lynch joining Team Bianca again for the 2nd year in a row? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. Hopefully you guys watched And make sure you comment down below, subscribe, click the bell notifications, share with your families and friends all over the socials. And also, up next, I'm gonna be doing a AEW Dynamite. I'm not Dynamite. I keep getting them mixed up. AEW Collision / Rampage. Yep, yes, sir. This will be the first time Collision and Rampage be on the same night, live on Friday nights, because tomorrow night AEW Collision. I mean, AEW Full Gear. Right, so I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. It's going to be on taking the spot for AEW Collision, which they don't have enough time to do. So we're going to be talking about that. What just went down. Stay tuned. Stay tuned on the SNA podcast, because this is the latest episode of this is the latest episode 129th of the SNA podcast, and I'll see you all on to episode 130. Super Ninja Austin, the Assassin, is out for now. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.